Hi everyone, it's Debbie Marino with Prophetics Gallery, and I'm here today with Jeanette Sthamann, and she is one of the artists in our gallery. We have over 105 artists from all over the world, and we are happy to say that Jeanette is from, where are you from, Jeanette?
I'm from Okotoks, Alberta, Canada.
And she is in cold country right now. I'm sure it's colder there than it is here.
I am.
So Jeanette, we just want to hear more about each of our artists. So today I want to know the why behind why you create, and I would love for you to share some of your pieces that you have within our gallery. I know you have two that you had talked about that you wanted to share today. So go ahead, tell us more.
Yeah, I'm happy to share with you why I create. Prophetic art for me it's been a gift for me. First of all, it's brought healing and restoration into my heart. I actually didn't know I was creating prophetically. I started about 17 years ago, and I had a dream one night, and God showed me one of the paintings that I had created in my dream, and he said, "This is you, Jeanette." And it was actually an old abandoned building. And he said, I've come to bring restoration to your heart and and so he showed me this painting. He said, your paintings are important. And he showed it actually on a book, but on the book, there was a title. It said, Restoration, This is God's Love Story. So I knew when I painted that painting that he was communicating to me through creativity, through art. And he was leading me into his nature of who he is, his goodness, and he just brought restoration and healing to me. So art has been such a gift, just to get to understand who God is and who I am, that I'm loved, and just his different facets. He has so many different facets to his nature. So the art that I've created just kind of shares the different facets of who he is. It could be his peace, could be his love, the living waters. There's so much to him. So it's been a gift to me, but then it's also, I get to release it, and it's a gift to everybody else. And I love how specific God can be in speaking to someone through a piece of art, and how it can be so tailored to that person. So he could have said something, like given me a promise with the art that I've created and spoke a word into my heart. But then he uses that same painting and specifically speaks something into somebody else. And it can be so specific. It could have there's a story that relates to them with the painting. So I love how he ministers to people differently than even how he would minister to me through a piece of art. Like, he's so vast that way. So that's I call it the gift that keeps giving. Art is the gift that keeps giving. So I love creating, and it just brings people into, just the facets of who he is in his nature.
Oh, that's so wonderful. It's so wonderful to hear that. You know, prophetic art is, as I mentioned before in some of my other videos, that it really touches people's lives. And it's amazing how even it touches the artist's life as they're painting it, and how God anoints it in such a way that we just see so many hearts moved, you know, giving them hope and peace and love. And sometimes it just unlocks something, you know, that's been hidden, and it's so good to be able to unlock what's hidden so it can come to the surface and deal with it, because those are the wounds that go so deep. So tell us more about some of the testimonies with some of your art and share them with us.
Absolutely. This is in my father's garden. You can see it on there. It's a little girl. She's in a pink dress and she's twirling in a garden, and she's so carefree. I had, first of all, the woman who bought the original, this spoke to her because she's a gardener, and she feels the closest to God when she's in her garden, and she loves planting flowers, and she's even give gifts to people as healing gifts, flowers. So when she saw this, when I posted it, she immediately wanted to buy it because she felt this is her. She's in her father's garden, and the place where she feels the closest to him. And then I have another testimony with this one too. And it was this, a young woman I was at a conference with the art, and I had this out. And as soon as the young woman saw it, she was really, really touched. And she said, I need to have this print. Like, I need to buy this. And she told me the story that she had lost her baby to a miscarriage. And it was a baby girl. So it was really touching. Like, I was so touched by this. And she said that God had given her a vision of her baby, of her girl, would be this age, twirling in a garden. And so she said, this is like a tangible gift. This is her. I feel like God, like I came right to your table. I knew there was something there for me, she said. And she said, this is now I have something tangible. This is my daughter and I get to see her now. So yeah, it was like, it was so touching, like, so that, yeah, just so personal.
Isn't that God though? I mean, he touches lives in such a way that it brings such a release of of stress and anxiety and worry. You know, we hear these stories and it's so good to like re-emphasize them because people don't even realize what prophetic art can do for a life. You know, prophetic art is so different than regular art. Regular art is beautiful. I have nothing bad to say about regular art unless it's very dark. You know,
right, yeah, I'm with you on that.
The enemy, you know, the enemy Satan can work through art, but the Lord works through art in such a way that's so unique through our prophetic artists like Jeanette here. It's a way of like not only reaching the artists, as I said before, but it's also reaching the multitude. And here's a woman who had a miscarriage, and the Lord really emphasized that this was her at this age now, as she would be, and the freeing. I mean, just looking at that little girl, just free and happy, and that mom knowing that that miscarriage wasn't really a miscarriage. It was a situation that was horrible to have to face, but knowing that child's with the Lord and and she's happy, it's just so rewarding. And you know, I'm going to take a little bit of a sidetrack here. I even want to say that I pray that peace touches those children that have been victims of sex trafficking.
Yes.
I don't know if you've had that, you know, if the Lord has mentioned that to you, with so much going on in the world, and that is such a syndicate that is so horrible, that I just pray that the Lord would touch these children's hearts. And if any of them are listening, we love you, the Lord loves you, and just reach out to him because he's going to heal those wounds. And, you know, we just pray for these children and the parents of these children that have lost their children to sex trafficking, that the Lord will heal them and help them, and that that the Lord would bring them back to them if they're still alive. And we pray they are. So
absolutely.
If you have anything to add to that, go ahead.
I am so with that, just that God's redeeming love and his redemptive heart for all the injustices that are happening in the sex trafficking and with the girls, the young girls, and that that God's, you know, he's a just God, but his justice brings redemption, and he's so redeeming. So even with this painting, it brings back the innocence.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't want to interject something else. Let's also pray that those that have been wounded by having some form of, you know, sexual acts against themselves, you know, that the Lord would bring healing to those that have been abused sexually, or abused, you know, physically, you know, mentally, verbally, whatever you might have experienced as a child, or even as an adult, that the Lord would bring healing through this particular piece of art. Yeah.
I am so with you with that. I'm just standing in agreement with you with that, because there's, you know, sometimes growing up, even me as a child, I had, you know, some of that too, trauma from just lack of, like, people stealing your innocence, right? So I was a victim to that, actually. So I can kind of speak into that and say that God redeems and he restores and he brings back the innocence to be able to heal our hearts and just to restore those moments where we've been traumatized or victimized. Yeah.
Yeah, as I don't know if you remember, Jeanette, my story, and the reason why I do the gallery is because my son was a victim of a sexual assault when he was in Boy Scouts, and he was 8. And he allows me to tell that testimony, and he uses it today too. And God touched him through a prophetic piece of art. It was an abstract, and someone was painting on stage one Sunday at this wonderful spirit-filled church. Right. And the artist came down and gave him that particular piece of art, and basically said, and he had just gotten out of the hospital, 5 weeks at Wake Forest Baptist Hospital for high anxiety. His brain had powered down to the point where he could barely talk. We would literally have to put up one finger for yes and 2 fingers for no. And what ends up happening is, he gets this piece of art a few weeks later after he got out of the hospital. And basically the artist said when she was painting on stage, she felt like Father God was saying, you're suffering, Justin, from, my son's name is Justin, from severe depression. And the Lord knows this, and he's going to help you through it, and he's going to get you over it, and you're going to be fine, and you're going to go on to do, great things with the Lord. And so we did see that. It wasn't a short period afterwards. And the only way my son got released was, and I shared this with one of our other artists, Justin Hook, recently in his video, was that he had to have ECTs, which is a shock to the brain. And his brain evidently powered right back up, and he was able to think clearly and whatever. And he had to have a series of those over the next few months after he was released from the hospital. He had 15 in all, because sometimes medications just don't work. And that was a horrible, horrific thing as parents to make that decision, we did. It was the best thing we could do.
Yeah. See, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, but God touches lives is what I want to get at. And he does get us through various different means. Sometimes it's a music, a song, or it could be a movie or theater or just something in nature. But art is a universal language, so it's amazing how he touches us through prophetic.
It's so powerful. Like that testimony itself, it's so powerful, just how he uses something and then just turns it around. Like it's, he gives you that word, that encouragement, and then fulfills it. It's a beautiful picture of just his heart. Yeah, Abba's heart, Papa's heart.
Yes. Well, do you have any other pieces that you would like to share with us today?
Well, I do. I have this one, and this one's on your gallery too. This is You Carry My Sunshine, with a little girl. She's kind of skipping forward, and she has this sunflower in her hand. When I painted this, a woman said, I have to have this because it reminds me of my granddaughter, and I call her my sunflower. And God gave her a prophetic word that her face faces the sun of Jesus, like flint. And so, she said, it even looks like my granddaughter from behind, like her hair is kind of, wavy. She said, it so looks like her, I have to have this. And because it's her. So I just love that. Again, there was a prophetic word behind it for her, that her daughter faces the sun like flint. Her face is facing the sun. And that's what sunflowers do. So it was just so for her. And then I had another grandma actually who said that she was estranged from her granddaughter. She hasn't seen her granddaughter in a while. But as soon as she saw this, she said she felt like the Lord said to her, this is your granddaughter, and I'm going to reunite you guys. You will be reunited. So she wanted to grab this because she said the same, like she said, she is my sunshine, even though I haven't, because, they're separated right now. I haven't been reunited with her. The Lord said we will be reunited. So it was hope for her and encouragement. So.
Oh, wonderful. Oh,
yeah.
my goodness. It's amazing, these stories that we have that, you each share, and it must be so rewarding to you to just hear that the art really did touch somebody.
Yeah, it's very rewarding, and it's always, to me, it's always a little bit mind blowing, because it just the bigness of God, and how the anointing, and how He ministers to people in such a different way, and what it means to them, and what He's speaking into their heart. It's always so beautiful. Like I love hearing the testimonies. I love hearing the stories. They're
Oh,
just amazing.
so wonderful. Well, thank you, Jeanette. I'm really enjoying everything that you have showed us today, and I know you have a lot more to come, and we look forward to having you, again in a video of any new pieces of art that you will be able to present to us in the future. But is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience that, maybe God has you doing in the community, or anything of that sort?
Like right now, haven't done a lot in the community right now as of yet with COVID, but He has given me some ideas. Like I would love to do an art show in my garden, just outside my studio here, and have people come and just have His presence, and have the art, and have a few different artists show their work that is in the garden theme. So that's an idea He's given me. But I do have some art out and about. I have some art at the medical center here in town, which is really nice. People love, there's so many people that are in there that are looking at the art. So it's always nice to have the art just in town and out at different places.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, can people come obviously to your studio and visit anytime, or do you have set hours if you want to just let the audience know that?
Yeah, actually, all the people have to do is just email me if they want to come and see the studio. I am so open to studio visits. So all they need to do is contact me through my website and set up a time, and I'm here lots of the time. So I'd be happy to have them in the studio and to share with them, my creativity and the art. They are welcome to come. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, give them your address.
Okay, it is 39 Cimarron Meadows Bay, Okotoks, Alberta.
All right, awesome. And you can find Jeanette's artwork on prophetixgallery.com. And we are hoping to get more art from Jeanette soon. So as she quickly creates and paints, we will get it up there on the website. But you also can go to Jeanette's website, and you can give them that location as well, Jeanette.
Okay, it is www.brushbythespirit.com.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Jeanette, today for being with us and sharing your story and the why behind why you create, and all those wonderful testimonies. Just keep it up, because we know the world's getting changed by your wonderful art. God bless you, and thank you so much. And thank you, audience, for being a part of our program today. Thank you.